Okay, welcome to another episode of Political Animals, where we always bring you an analytical perspective of geopolitical and political activities all over the world. Not only analytical, most of the time cynical. Today, a lot of people will say it's hopeful. For all of a sudden, Starmer, is his first name Keir Starmer of Britain, met with his overlord, Trump yesterday, and Trump gave him the green light to make Gaza a state. Trump said you could do it. And Trump also said it's true. Kids and women are starving in Gaza. I don't know what Netanyahu's talking about. Netanyahu's a liar. They're starving. So all of a sudden today, Keir Starmer is having an emergency meeting to discuss making Palestine a state, and also to just talk in general about the starvation problem that's going on there, because it's clear now that this thing is making the U.S. Britain look bad. France is also putting pressure on Britain. France is putting pressure on Starmer to stop prevaricating and say clearly that they deserve to be a state. Now, Kule, I'm going to ask you what your thoughts on all of this. Before I continue, though, also the Labour Party is also pushing that it's time for Starmer to call Palestine a state. But have you noticed nobody's saying it's time to call for a ceasefire? Have you noticed that? What are your thoughts in general on all of this? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pity. I hope my sound comes back. You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Very sadly, it's gone into a farcical situation where they're being rather disingenuous. We've known all the while what's been going on, and they're suddenly going, "Oh, shock, horror! 112 people were killed in the last 24 hours. Just in the last 24 hours. Not even anything special that gets on the news nowadays,
Yeah.
because they're Palestinian lives. If they were not Palestinian lives, that would be all over the news. And these people are being killed. And there's nothing that anyone can do to stop it. And I think they're just going to soldier on with the carnage, regardless. They're just going to soldier on with the carnage. I don't see any stop to it. It's unfortunate that Badenoch is taking this position to support the continuation of this carnage. But things are what it is, and she has to appeal to her far right base. But I don't know whether all far right bases support this carnage. That's another question in itself.
Yeah. And here's the thing. She's saying that there's no need to make Badenoch is saying that there's no need to recognize Israel, Palestine as a nation, because it won't stop the carnage. But here's my thing. It's a positive anyway to recognize them as a nation, even if it doesn't stop the carnage. So why is she so against it? What does she see the downside in it? What you understand? What is her motivation for saying no? Don't recognize them. I can understand you saying, "Oh, recognizing them as a state won't make a difference." But why is she so hell bent against it? Like you said, it's for her right wing. So what she's saying is, as a black lady, she's not Nigerian. She's already said she's not Nigerian. As a black woman, a woman of color, she's saying that um, I would rather pander to right wing racists and people who are pro Zionist. And by Zionist, pro Zionist, that really nowadays means Zionism is actually an anti Semitic movement, because it's the building of Israel at any cost, at the death of Semitics. So she's anti Semitic, she's anti Palestinian. We all know she's anti Nigerian. So she's just going out of her way to be hateful towards people of color and people of the global South. What are your thoughts?
Yes, and that is precisely everything that I would have wanted to say. She says she's a Catholic, but Christians, we support the weak and the poor and the downtrodden. We're not about the mighty and the powerful. And that's a complete contradiction.
Yeah,
What's going on is a genocide, and
yeah,
she's not
yeah,
showing any kind of understanding, empathy, or anything at all.
yeah,
Simply taking the Zionist position solidly to show her support for the official Zionist position. That's basically to show there is no choice in British politics between Conservative and Labour at the moment, because they are
yeah.
both sides of the same
Yeah. And the Labour
Zionist
Party.
coin, like America.
Yeah. So now the Labour Party is saying, "Oh, that Palestine needs to be recognized as a nation." But once again, the Labour Party, even Donald Trump now, everybody except for Netanyahu is agreeing that there's starvation there, and agreeing that there needs to be uh, a state. But my argument is, they may even agree there needs to be a ceasefire. But one thing I think they're doing, as far as I'm concerned, as the West, is that now that they've bombed that place, they've reduced the population, they've broken the people's wills, they will recognize Israel, Palestine as a state. But my argument is that it will be a state, a technocratic state. And as we know, Trump and other Middle Eastern countries and NATO have all come up with a plan of turning Palestine into a technocratic state with a puppet leader there who they can control. That's their ultimate. So now that so we should be beware of the fact that they're saying, oh, we want to make them a state and we want to end the ceasefire and we want to end the hunger, because they're giving them food. Because what they've done is they've beat you up, kill you. They say, now take food. Now also take our proposal for you being a technocratic state. That's my point. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're simply holding a people hostage and doing whatever they want with them and oppressing them, and
Yeah.
it's almost like it's Warsaw ghetto conditions in there right now from what we've been seeing of the deliberate starvation. I don't know if they're still putting Oxycontin inside the few bags of flour they get through this
Oh yeah.
inhumanitarian
Yeah.
US Israeli based food site that they used to target and snipe children queuing
Yeah.
for food.
So yeah, so like you said, even though they're now giving food and everything, they're controlling it. We don't know, like you said, but they're poisoning the food, which they've done in the past, or they're just going to give them a little bit because things are getting. What's the name of the lady from the UN, United Nations, that spoke out? They're getting beginning to look bad in front of their citizens, so they're cutting back on that, but they're still controlling the place. And as I'll say it again, their ultimate plan is to is to keep Syria unstable, is to surround Iran, and to make, basically, even if it's a separate state, to make Palestine a state that's under absolute control of Israel and basically functions for Israel. Because I doubt that they're going to put Hamas in power. They'll choose whoever's the president now, and he'll be basically a puppet. So, what are your last thoughts on that? Yeah.
Yes, there is a bleak outlook over what's happening in Gaza, and the world isn't able to do anything to stop the carnage. And for me, that's very disheartening. It doesn't look like anyone's going to come to their aid militarily to stop what is going on until Israel is satisfied. And
Yeah.
we don't know what that means right
Yeah,
now.
Israel will never be satisfied. I think Israel's goal is not to it's not to annex or to keep Palestine under control. I think Israel's goal is to just destroy every place around it, keep them all in chaos, so long as they're in a safety, as long as they're in a cocoon and they're safe. I don't think they have broader plans of controlling it. I just think they want to exist. So therefore, their idea of existence is that idea: attack your enemies before they attack you. Preemptive. Basically, it's a paranoid state. But and also, this continual war keeps Netanyahu out of trouble, because Netanyahu has, before this, he was going to get kicked out of office. He he was trying to mess up the judiciary in Israel, and he was under a lot of pressure. So the longer this war and all of this genocide and all these distractions go on, he's safe. But it's clear now, because Trump and everybody else is turning on him. No matter what plans they have for Palestine, they're still going to use Netanyahu as a scapegoat at the end of the day. What are your thoughts? Yeah.
I think that that's what they're going to try to use to try to shy away from what's going on, because it's becoming clearer every day that it's inexcusable and someone's head has to roll. And it very well could be Netanyahu. But the thing is, Netanyahu himself has an agenda which is also satisfying a very powerful part of the far right
Ben
Israeli
Gavir.
government.
Ben
Yes,
Gavir.
and you know that chilling report that 83% of all Israelis wanted to see the area of Gaza ethnically cleansed. So when you look at it from that point of view, it might not be so easy to make him a victim without making the entire state of Israel
Yeah.
guilty. And what would that look like in international politics? A country that controls all the world's wealth and media? We don't know. And that's a different chart that we're yet to see happen.
We have to start trading calories like in Things Fall Apart. All right, let me get out of here. All right, so let's get out. Take us out quickly. We'll continue this on Thursday. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's been an Orwellian Animal Farm look at what's going on with the Zionist project in Israel and Gaza. From myself and Mustafa, we shall see you on the next one. And we bid you adieu.
I do.
Please like and subscribe.
Like this is great. I've taken it off record. I think you had some ganja today, didn't you? You got a good buzz.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.